Welcome to episode 185 of the Microsoft Cloud IT Pro podcast, recorded live on July 1st, 2020. This is a show about Microsoft 365 and Azure from the perspective of IT pros and end users, where we discuss a topic or recent news and how it relates to you. In this episode, Ben and Scott diverge from some of the business and enterprise features available in Microsoft Teams and talk about recent updates to the mobile client that allows you to use it for personal chats and group chats, task management, and other personal group collaboration, both with family as well as friends.
Woohoo!
Woohoo? Why are you excited? Because it's July 2. And you know what that means?
That it's almost July 3?
Yeah, it really means absolutely nothing to you and I. That means that tomorrow is technically a vacation. So we're recording on Thursday instead of Friday because someone wants to sleep in.
Who? Your
Someone
wife?
Not being me.
Your wife and my wife?
No, are you kidding me? My kids get us up way too early. I haven't slept in a long time. And my youngest has figured out how to climb out of his crib. So he just comes wandering into our bedroom at random times during the morning now.
Uh-huh. That's always fun.
Yes. He is not saying anything, nor can understand that he has to stay in his bedroom until a certain time. So he just climbs out and wanders around the house till he finds somebody.
Well, I mean, yeah, just hope he finds you before he finds, the mess in the kitchen or whatever else was
Well, so we have
on his mind.
We have a 2-story house, so we have gates upstairs. So as long as we remember to shut the gates, he can't get downstairs. He'll just stand at the top and grab it and rattle it if he can't find us upstairs. Usually we're still upstairs and he finds us in bed. I think this morning he walked over to his brother's bed and was like, trying to wake him up to get someone to play with him or something.
Perfect.
Yes, fun times. That's
always
all I
fun.
got.
That's all.
I got nothing else.
That's all you got.
Do you feel overwhelmed by trying to manage your Office 365 environment? Are you facing unexpected issues that disrupt your company's productivity? Intelligent is here to help. Much like you take your car to the mechanic that has specialized knowledge on how to best keep your car running, Intelligent helps you with your Microsoft Cloud environment because that's their expertise. Intelligent keeps up with the latest updates in the Microsoft Cloud to help keep your business running smoothly and ahead of the curve. Whether you are a small organization with just a few users up to an organization of several thousand employees, they want to partner with you to implement and administer your Microsoft Cloud technology. Visit them at intelligink.com/podcast. That's INTELLIGINK.com/podcast for more information or to schedule a 30-minute call to get started with them today. Remember, Intelligink focuses on the Microsoft Cloud so you can focus on your business.
I got a new toy.
You did get a new toy. That's what July 2 means. It means your new toy came yesterday.
Yes, it does.
What's your new toy? I already know what it is.
Yeah, well, I'm getting on that Intel Mac train because it's a good time to do it, right?
Right before it pulls out of the station. Never to be seen again.
B&H had some good discounts on MacBook Pros the other day, and I've wanted to get back to the Mac for a while, so this was an opportunity to pick one up. So I just did wasn't little, things massive and weighs about 1 million pounds. You lied to me. 16-inch MacBook Pro.
Very nice.
Just the base model because I don't computer the way you computer.
I will say you will be happy with it. And frankly, who cares if it's a beast and weighs a ton? Because realistically, where are you going to take it right now? From the bedroom to the kitchen? Because for the last 4 months, that's about all the further you've been traveling.
Yeah, I know, but it is massive. It's really nice. I forgot how nice Mac hardware is. Keyboard's great. I didn't have to go with that crappy, whatever keyboard they
vendor keyboard.
Whatever thing they had before. Trackpad's awesome. I really missed Mac trackpads and gestures and tools like Better Touch Tool, which everyone should buy because it's awesome.
Yes. Better Touch Tool, Magnet.
Ooh, what's Magnet?
Oh, you're missing out. Go find Magnet in the App Store. We're going to turn into the Apple podcast. Sorry for all of our fellow Microsoft people that don't use Macs.
They all should.
So did you get used to the window snapping on Windows where you can like drag it and let it snap to the top or the right side or all of that?
Yes, that's what Better Snap Tool is for.
Yeah, so you can do Better Snap Tool. That is not the correct link. It's in the App Store.
Yeah, I already did Better Snap Tool.
So I had Better Snap Tool, and I tend to like Magnet better.
What do you like about Magnet better? Looks a little bit more like Power Toys than Better Snap Tool is.
So I don't know, and it honestly may have just been that I started using it first and I got used to how I had Magnet organized. Does Better Snap Tools let you like double click on the top bar to get your full screen? And can you replicate all of the Windows 10 Snap functionality in Better Touch Tools?
As far as I know, yeah, I can double click to go big or go small, drag to corners. So snap to top, snap to left, snap to top left, bottom left, all those kinds of things.
I can't remember what there was something that I ended up with Magnet over Better Snap Tool. And I have no idea what it was.
And you can do custom snap areas, like make custom zoom areas and all those things.
Yep. And I have keyboard shortcuts for mine too. I use keyboard shortcuts a lot to snap them to different parts of the screen.
Yep. Better Snap Tool does all that too.
Yeah. Who knows? I have no idea at this point in time. But I actually own both of them. And I have Better Touch Tool and Alfred.
Yeah, I'm going to try and go with just the regular launcher for now, which I know is a dumb idea, but...
Yeah, it really is. You're going to go buy Alfred.
So I actually bought all this stuff a long time ago and still have it. Like, that's the beauty of the Mac App Store, although I don't know how developers make money there, since I can just go download all my old things.
Well, that's not a whole lot different than Windows, right?
Well, it is different than Windows, because I would never buy software in the Windows store.
Software for Windows?
Well, no, you buy software for Windows, just not in the Windows Store. So there is a difference there. So yeah, I got that going. Parallels was on sale yesterday. I've just been setting things up. Reader, it's nice to have life back.
Oh, here's another one of my new favorite tools that I've used for a while. But they're going to a subscription model, which kind of irritated me. Have you ever gotten another separate clipboard manager?
So I've used PasteSpot in the past. I was thinking about going back to that.
Okay, so I have there's a Paste clipboard manager. So it's not PasteSpot, it's just Paste. And it does, it has a whole clipboard manager, but then it also has apps for all your other ones. So the same clipboard manager links and clipboard are on all your devices. So natively Mac, you can just copy and paste from one to the other. This does the whole copy, but then you have the whole clipboard manager history on every single device.
That's a Windows thing right there.
There it is here. Copy link. Okay, there you go. There's my clipboard manager that I use.
Yeah.
That lets you categorize links and all of that. So I have links like my business address that are just saved in their own categories. So whenever I need it, I just have all of that stuff handy in different categories.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That was my new fun thing, which led to an evening of me being locked away from my wife. Well, she's like, "What are you doing?" Setting up the new computer. The FedEx guy was funny too. It was set for must sign for delivery. Not a problem to be home for delivery, but the FedEx guy came and knocked on the door, and so I go and open the door, and he's standing there with his pad, and I'm looking at him, and I said, "Do you want me to sign?" And he looks at me, he goes, "Scott?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "Nah, we're good." It's like, okay. Got it.
Have you ordered any pizza since the whole lockdown for delivery?
No, but we have done delivery from a couple different places.
So we just got Papa John's the other day, and it's interesting because same type of thing. They'll come up to your door, and we have a Nest doorbell, so we can kind of watch some of this stuff. they pull the pizza out of the pizza carrier that's keeping it warm. They put the pizza carrier on the ground in front of your door, put your pizzas on it, and then back up 6, 8, 10 feet from, or ring the doorbell, and then they back up 6 or 8, 10 feet from the door, and you open it, and you they're like, "There's your pizza," and you can reach down and pick it up, and it's this awkward wave of, "Hi, I can't even really come close to you, so it's a good thing I gave you a tip on the credit card. Otherwise, I'd just have to kind of throw money on the ground for you." And then you close the door, and they come back and pick up the pizza carrier that the pizza was sitting on and all that, and it's interesting.
Yeah. So the weird thing I've noticed during these times, I don't do a Nest, we do a Ring doorbell, but nobody uses the doorbell. They all walk up. They're all still recorded. It's got a big light on it. Like it's lit up, like push this button. And people still don't use the doorbell. They still knock on the door. Kills me.
So speaking of doorbells, we had an interesting issue with ours the other day. It wouldn't stop ringing. I don't know if it got stuck or if there was a software glitch or something, but someone rang the doorbell. And like for the next half hour, every 5 minutes, our doorbell would ring. And it wasn't just that the doorbell would ring, like the app would alert us because that triggers an app on the alert. So our phones are like, there's someone at the door. We're like, what? There's nobody there. And then we just sat there and watched because we didn't know if it was neighbor kids messing around or something. And we're like, sure enough, there's nobody coming up to our door and the doorbell just keeps ringing. So I went out, rebooted the doorbell, and it's been fine since.
Things that you don't hear in the past. I had to go outside and reboot the doorbell.
Yes. So with all of that, we are very easily getting distracted at the beginning of our episodes lately.
Let's impart some knowledge. So there have been some deprecations going on. You remember Open edX?
Open edX? No.
Have you ever taken an Open edX class?
Nope.
I bet you have. So lots of learning partners use Open edX as kind of a MOOC for courseware delivery. And Open edX runs on Microsoft Azure, and it used to be a big part of Microsoft learning properties. So if you ever went and bought a class in the past, like say you were going to go, do your Azure certification, or you were going to do like your MOS certification, whatever it was.
Did you really just say my MOS certification?
I know you have a MOS certification.
I do have a MOS certification.
Stop. I know you got a MOS certification.
I wonder how many people know what MOS is that listen to this.
Everyone should know what MOS is. Not the stuff that grows on trees, but the certification.
Do you realize what? MOS was 10 years ago now?
It's not that bad. Come on.
I mean, Scott, there were people that might be listening to our podcast that were like 12 years old 10 years ago, and they're now working in a professional industry. There may be people that don't actually know what MOS is.
All right. Well, MOS is the stuff that grows on trees then. But anyway, if you've ever taken a Microsoft certification, you may have run into Open edX or some of the courseware that comes out of there, whether it was watching videos or reading articles or things like that. Open edX is going away. It's being collapsed into Microsoft Learn. So the impact there is if you ever took a course in Open edX, it is time for you to go sign into it. So it's oxa.microsoft.com. Go sign into Open edX and specifically the Azure version of it, and go download all your certificates or complete any of your in-progress training and things like that, because it is all going away on July 31st, and it does not appear that it is going to be automatically migrated as far as your certificates or status and things like that over to the new Microsoft Learn, which is where everything is being consolidated to.
Interesting.
So like me, I have an Azure Fundamentals certification over there because I was playing around with Open edX at one point.
I'm going to have to go look at that and see if I have anything in there, because I missed that. So how much notice are they like on this whole habit of giving people a month notice before they kill services?
Well, let's see. I got this email on July 1st at 11:36 p.m. and the service will be retired on July 31st, 2020. I can only go by the email that I have.
1 month notice. Kind of like another service. I don't use it, but it raised some news with Mixer getting killed off with a month notice.
Yeah, Mixer's going away too.
And that one, again, I don't use it. I don't care a whole lot about it, but I have heard it made some people very upset. And the fact that they're transitioning from Mixer to Facebook gaming just is an interesting dynamic on top of all of it.
You think?
And that's all I have to say about that. Was there something else getting deprecated too that I have missed?
No. Well, I don't know. I'm sure there's always something else. Things come, things go, but no, that's about it. Got a Mac. Mixer's going away. Open edX is going away. It's July. Prepare yourself.
Outlook add-ins are a great way to improve productivity and save time in the workplace, and Sperry Software has all the add-ins you'll ever need. The Save as PDF add-in is a bestseller and is great for project backups, legal discovery, and more. This add-in saves the email and attachments as PDF files. It's easy to download, easy to install, and Sperry Software's unparalleled customer service is always ready to help. Download a free trial at sperrysoftware.com, SPERRYSOFTWARE.com, and see for yourself how great Save as PDF is. Listeners can get 20% off their order today by entering the code CLOUDIT. That's CLOUDIT, CLOUDIT, all one word at checkout. Sperry Software, work in email, not on email. So we could talk about this too. Microsoft's push into the personal space with everything. If we want to go news, we had one other topic we were going to talk about, but some of the news is kind of interesting too.
Into the personal space, like personal teams?
Like personal teams. And did you see this article? I'm going to send it to you right now. About bring the power of tasks into your personal life to stay organized. Did you see this one too? So we can talk about personal teams. So let's start with personal teams. What are personal teams?
I'll be darned if I know. So the Teams client, the mobile client specifically, recently gained a capability where you can now sign in with an MSA account and not be signed into a Teams tenant. So in the past, you could absolutely sign in with an MSA, a Microsoft account, a regular consumer Microsoft account, as long as that Microsoft account had been invited through B2B sharing or whatever they call it.
Right, because you can essentially use it for a guest account into Teams.
Yes. So like in my case, you took my Gmail account, you added it into a team inside your tenant, and that meant I could sign into Teams theoretically with my Gmail account.
I was going to say, but everything broke.
Yeah. Like I said, theoretically, don't ever change the username for your MSA, folks, and interact that way. But now what happens is if you sign in with an MSA on a mobile device, so I've only tried this from my iPhone just to kind of see what it was all about and the experience and sign in experience, things like that. You'll be presented not only with your list of tenants if you are part of a tenant with your MSA, there will also be another option in there that's called personal. And if you sign into personal, it doesn't present you with any tenant level features, but you can do things like chat and video calls back and forth with other MSA accounts.
Yeah. So, and it gets really interesting. I think you're in the same boat. I have a personal account and a Microsoft account that both have the same email address.
Easy IDs.
Yeah. So I'm signed into both in my Teams tenant. So I have like a personal one. That's my personal one. And then I have another one that is a tenant tied to that Microsoft account. It's really weird. But yeah, this personal thing is interesting. And we were talking about it just from a pure technology standpoint, because as we've talked about before, so much of this stuff is driven by Office 365 services. Like how they're doing all this, what's all is going on in the background with these personal tenants, because you don't really have an Office 365 tenant that everything's tied to. So as I go through my chats, I'm guessing are just often some Azure storage files are pulling from my OneDrive. My calendar is most likely pulling from my personal calendar. But then as you invite other people to join...
So your calendar is not pulling from your personal calendar.
I don't have anything in my personal calendar. Everything is in my work calendar.
I have a lot of stuff in my personal calendar, and there's nothing in there.
And there's nothing that pulls from it.
Unless it would specifically be pulling from my Outlook calendar, which I don't use.
That wouldn't... Yeah. So calendar does not pull from it, but there's no underlying Teams tenant. So as you invite, because you can invite other people to collaborate with you, the idea is now you can use Teams for scheduling stuff with the family, for sharing files with the family or with friends. making calls. They now actually have a tasks option in there. Hey, Scott said hi to me.
Yes, but
Scott wants to chat with you.
But which Ben did I say hi to?
That was my personal one.
Nice.
Is that the one you meant to talk to?
I don't know. I just typed in Ben and it let me send it. So it's doing some contact discovery and things too, which is cool.
Right. But it's kind of interesting because, like, I'm assuming if you share files in a chat, it's just automatically setting up some sharing on OneDrive. But it's got to be implementing Teams slightly differently under the covers because of that.
Yeah, it's a different type of experience. So go into that chat that I just started with you on like your iPhone. So you'll have the chat tab, and then there's the whole dashboard tab at the top there too. So if you go into dashboard, then I can create a shared calendar. We can set up a safe, which is a place to securely store sensitive information like passwords and IDs in your own personal safe. It's protected by encryption.
Upload a file. So we're going to play with this. We're doing this live while we chat. What can I share with you? Here's a picture I took of myself from a drone. Preparing the file. The following... Oh, interesting. Okay, so get this, Scott. I just went to share a file with you, and it said the following characters are not allowed. /, $, ? Quote, greater than, less than, pipe, pound, and %.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
No, because those are all allowed in OneDrive now.
No, those are allowed in OneDrive for SharePoint.
Not OneDrive Personal.
I don't know if OneDrive Personal still has the character restrictions.
Okay, let me go try to find... Here's a PDF manual for ScanBot. Uploading. So where is it uploading it to? Because I think the files it gave me the option to choose from were already in my OneDrive. So I added a file to our Files tab.
Oh, now you've done it.
And I don't know where it uploaded to. So it does give us... It's like Teams functionality within a chat. So it's like one-to-one chat, but it still has...
One-to-one chat or one-to-many chat. Now, here's the thing. Mixing up the words, when you go into the chat in the mobile app and you're signed into a personal account, your first prompt is to go to the chat tab and tap here to create your first group, which is really a group chat, not an Office 365 group or anything else that you might have thought was a group.
So can I add other people to the group chat you started?
Sure, try it.
Nope, I don't think so. Chat dashboard. I cannot. I can add a calendar.
I guess I can create a new group chat. I don't know.
I can create a new one, but I can't add anybody to the one you started. So there's no real sets of teams. It's just chats, and if you create a group chat or a one-to-one chat is what it appears.
So anyway, I think it's handy if you're in the Microsoft ecosystem, the personal ecosystem. Say you buy Microsoft 365 Home, or you do like Microsoft 365 Family. You've got everybody set up with Office already. Maybe you're doing some of the safety tools, things like that. Now you have the ability to also do one-on-one chats, specifically in the Teams client on a mobile device, because I don't know when this is coming to the desktop or if they've said that.
I have not seen anything about it coming to the desktop. I will say, my one annoyance with all of this,
your one and only one?
Okay, fair point, is that I have, so all honesty, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 additional tenants I am all a guest in Teams. And this essentially creates what appears to be another tenant in Teams. So I still have this whole problem of tenant switching and visibility into what's actually going on in that personal chat, because I have to essentially log out or switch orgs to go see the personal stuff now.
Yes. Yeah. No good solves for you there.
No. And until they switch the tenant switching or fix the tenant switching so it's not as painful to switch between tenants, it's going to be kind of an annoyance.
Yeah. I mean, it's easy on mobile. It's rough on the desktop, though.
Right. Oh, and since this isn't on the desktop, it really doesn't matter at this point in time.
Right.
But they came out with that announcement. When was that? Like 2 weeks ago now or so? I think it first showed up 2 weeks ago, a week ago. So on June 25, they made this announcement that they're bringing the power of tasks into your personal life to stay organized. And interesting enough, this was posted by the Planner team. So the Planner team put this blog article out there within the whole Planner blog. So it's all Planner based, and it's a new feature in the whole personal Teams environment that lets you organize and share tasks with friends and family. But then they go on to say that it's important to note that Planner is still an enterprise-only app, so while it helps power the new Tasks Teams feature for personal use, Planner doesn't support personal Microsoft accounts. So it kind of follows the whole pattern of this personal thing, is that under the covers, it's using these Office 365 features, or I don't know if it's APIs that it's using. It's like not the full Planner app. It's just using a portion of it to power tasks in this whole personal Teams environment, I guess.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Let's go with that. So that is a new one that if you had seen the personal Teams and had played with it, you may have missed that you can now do tasks in it because it didn't come out under the Teams. And I don't know if they posted something under Teams too, but I ran across it on a post under the Planner blog.
Yeah, I haven't seen this one yet, at least on the team side.
So we can now keep track of our podcast checks. I was reading a text from my wife, and she needed the checkbook. And tasks have check marks. Check them off. We can keep track of our podcast tasks in the Teams app with our personal chat.
Yeah, so let's see. If I add a task, so I want Ben to do something. Done. So now we have a shared task list between us. So if you go and check off do something, I wonder if I get a notification.
I don't know. Let's find out. Chat. Oh, nope. See, I'm out of my personal tenant. Now I'm getting alerts from my corporate one again. Switching. I have switched. Chat. Scott created a task list. Shared task, do something. So it shows up in my chat as a notification with a do something. And in here, I can go assign it to somebody. I can assign it back to you. Apparently.
You can assign it?
Assign it to myself. I have just assigned the task to myself. Do something. I have a due date, important notes, or add a checklist item. Okay, I assigned it to myself and I completed it. Saving, checked off. I'm up to date.
Ooh, look at that.
Hey, Scott. You do it.
I can't.
Oh, yeah. When you just create it, you can't do anything.
Nope. You can't. You got to create it, click it, go back into it. And then the cool thing is it's all broken now.
I just assigned it to you.
Yep. If you try and mark it as important, it just beach balls or does the spinny logo thing. Yep. Some work to do there.
Yes. Add a shared calendar. I don't know where that gets created. Chat details. Create a new group chat. Yeah, I can block you. I can't add anybody to our group chat. I can only create a new one. So that is the new personal experience in Teams.
Well, it is quite personal.
It is. It's interesting. I mean, I can, again, like you said, if you're in the ecosystem and you're in Teams all the time and you do want to like pull your family into there, I guess you... See, the weird thing is though, so this is still the weird thing to me, is you're still just creating a group chat. This is all really resolves around creating chats.
It does, and it's an interesting framing. So I'm trying to think of the way I would potentially use something like this within my house, or some of my family members might use it. And the answer is we wouldn't. We already have one-to-one chat inside of things like Facebook Messenger or iMessage or WhatsApp. There's already a bunch of that stuff going on. We can already share calendars. We've got a family calendar that's already shared across everybody. We're already sharing location. Task list is already covered. It's an uphill battle, I think, to win some mind share there.
Right. I would agree, because we're in the same boat. Like, we've had a shared calendar and we're on the Apple ecosystem, if that hasn't been apparent. And we have like a shared calendar and a family account and do everything through the iCloud and iDevice ecosystem. But even before that, we have a family calendar in Outlook. Remember Windows Phone Windows Phone actually had something like this. It wasn't built on Teams, but you could set up a whole family, essentially a group for a family on your Windows Phone that gave you a shared Outlook calendar and a shared OneNote and all of that kind of hosted out of your personal account. So this isn't the first time they tried this. This is the first time they've tried it that it hasn't been specific to a Windows Phone. So We shall see. But I agree with you. I think there's been so many ways and so many different ways to do this already that it is definitely going to be an uphill battle to win any market share and gain much traction here.
Yeah. What do you even call it? Teams?
Well, that's just it. Because I was like, if I create a family...
Teams for your personal life. That's got a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. As IT professionals in the cloud era, sometimes it feels like we don't speak the same language as the rest of the organization. So when stakeholders from finance or other departments start asking about a specific project or team's Azure costs, they don't always realize how much work is involved in obtaining that information, sifting through cluttered CSVs and a complex mess of metadata in order to manually create custom views and reports. It's a real headache. On top of helping you understand and reduce your organization's overall Azure spend, ShareGate Overcast lets you group resources into meaningful cost hubs and map them to real-world business scenarios. This way, you can track costs in the way that makes most sense with your corporate structure, whether it's by product, business unit, team, or otherwise. It's a flexible, intuitive, and business-friendly way of tracking Azure infrastructure costs, and it's only available in ShareGate Overcast. Find out more on sharegate.com/ITPro. I don't know. Well, that's why I was struggling. I'm like, what do I create for my family? Because I'm not really creating a group for my family. Because even if you want to share all this stuff within your family, you have to create a new chat first.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have the ability to add somebody else to our chat?
I do not.
So here's where the other part, this is all going to fall off the wheels, is I create a chat with my wife, and my kids aren't old enough that they don't have a phone yet.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's confusing. Maybe I can. I can go into the settings for a chat, and then I can hit create a new group chat, and then it takes me and fills in the 2-line, and then I can add people. But I don't know if I added someone, if they would
see the history.
They'd be able to see. We need more friends with MSAs, and quite frankly, we don't have those. I guess I could add one of my kids' accounts. I could add one of my kids' accounts.
You could. Because if you can't add other people to it to get the history, like what happens if a family member gets old enough that they get a phone, or you have another kid that needs to be added? Like, you kind of need the ability to expand a group chat to other people and not just start a new one.
Yeah, I would tell you to go read the documentation and see what happens, but...
What documentation?
Documentation is scant.
I have 2 blog posts about this.
No, there is a landing page for it for Teams for Home. It's the hero page, but that's about it. And they call out some use cases. Travel planning made easy. Did you know that Teams gives you one place for your group to organize itineraries, packing lists, assign tasks, and more? Makes planning easier than ever. Family organization on the go. It can be one app for work and for life. That's it. I don't want my personal life mixed with my work stuff.
Huh. I'm going to have to play with this more. Maybe I'll have to add my wife's MSA account in one and see where we can go. But it is, I will say it's interesting to check out. I can see some of their points about use cases in terms of one place to put everything if you're traveling with a group. That being said, I still think it's an uphill battle to actually get people to do that. There's a lot of great products that have a lot of great use cases, but if nobody uses it, the use case doesn't really matter. That makes sense. Kind of like what we...
Just a little bit.
I'm going to... Kind of going back to what we talked about last week, right? Where Microsoft did a lot of stuff, but around the phone space, and they did some stuff that other people have since copied. Microsoft had use cases. They had a great product. They implemented it, but they didn't get any adoption with it. Somebody else can implement the exact same thing and have the exact same use cases and actually get adoption with it, just based on how well they implemented it or all of that. So I think that's kind of where I'm going with this, is I see Teams having great use cases. I can definitely see potential for where this could be helpful, but I don't know that it's implemented quite right in a way that's going to gain a lot of traction.
Well, I mean, I'll let you know once all those people start chatting with me through Teams on my personal account.
All right. We can post maybe if we post our personal accounts in the notes, people can go at us and we can feel special because people added us to their personal group chat and Teams.
I will put your email address on the internet. Don't worry.
All right. I'll update it with yours right before we publish too.
I feel like that's a dangerous escalation.
Yeah, probably. Okay. With that, Scott, That was a bit of a different episode.
Self-assured mutual destruction. That's what we've come to.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. Today just kind of went off the rails in our episode. We'll just leave it at that. And next week, we will be back with more relevant Azure and Microsoft 365 stuff. Probably the topic we were going to talk about today and failed to get to because we got distracted with Teams Personal.
Yes, there we go. Azure stuff next week. You got it.
All right. Azure stuff. Should we give them a preview or let everybody be surprised?
Let's let
everybody be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Sounds good. Well, go enjoy your weekend, Scott. Enjoy the long 4th of July holiday here in the U.S.
You too. Enjoy your socially distanced 4th of July with everything shut down.
I'm going to do absolutely nothing for 4th of July except let off fireworks out in the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
I think.
That's probably the safe bet.
I'll watch fireworks on TV.
Hamilton, tomorrow morning at 3 a.m. Eastern.
I am not going to be watching it at 3 a.m. Eastern, but maybe I'll do it over the weekend.
All right. Well, we'll compare notes then.
Okay. Perfect. Sounds good.
Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Scott. If you enjoyed the podcast, go leave us a 5-star rating in iTunes. It helps to get the word out so more IT pros can learn about Office 365 and Azure. If you have any questions you want us to address on the show or feedback about the show, feel free to reach out via our website, Twitter, or Facebook. Thanks again for listening and have a great day.